Picture this. Ever seen 400 people in a single conga line creating memories they'll talk about decades later? That's what I consistently delivered across 22 years of packed venues. Most promoters struggle with half-empty rooms and forgettable experiences. I promise to reveal exactly how I built my empire from a simple dance party to multiple venue extravaganzas. My proven system works in any market for anyone with passion. Let me show you how I came up with my party ideas. Hang tight and let's go for it. So here we are. Happy Friday, guys. So happy you're here again. I am here as always. It's my favorite go-to day. And today I was going to brainstorm a little bit with you. Feel free to chat in the chat box here as well. And if you do come after the recording, by all means, we're uploading these to YouTube and you can make comments and suggestions or ask questions. So today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what kind of party ideas you've come up with. And I'll actually talk about what I've done over the years, what I thought was good, what was easy to do, what was not so easy or not so good to do. And you'll hear me talk a little bit about this throughout many of my videos, but not exactly this. So today we're only focused on, okay, come up with some great party ideas and how come they were so good. So for me, it started with a simple dance party in a little bar in the Mission District in San Francisco, California. A friend of mine, we got together and wanted to do a bar party and dance party. And we just figured, okay, Scandinavia meets America, so to speak. And that was very successful right out the gate. 250 people. We charged only $5 at the door. Even got some sponsors in. And then it took off from there because for me, it was just a hobby in the beginning. And another thing we did shortly thereafter, many of my American friends love to see baseball. So why not we rented a bus. We actually rented a Mexican bus and did 50 people to go see the San Francisco Giants. And we created a party and event around that. So that's what you got to think about. Okay, how can you make a party good? How do you make it special? And that's really key because there's all these club parties and dance parties, but they become so impersonable. And I think very often a meat market, and I do not like that. So you got to go with what you like and your friends like, right? So when it comes to these bus parties, we were really smart because we figured, okay, how can we make it really unique? It's not just go into the game and see the game. No. We created a whole event around it. So we set up a 2-hour pre-party where we had drinks and some snacks in the beginning. Then the bus would come. And then one time it was downtown San Francisco. The bus would come and pick us up. We all had little name tags on so that we can meet new people because they're friends of friends. Not everybody knows everyone. And to remember all the names for me also was a good idea, right? And then we got a cooler and we actually... we were quite creative because we managed to fill vodka on some 2-liter bottles, 7-Up bottles without breaking the seal on the top. So when we brought it into the game, we were allowed to bring liquor. I mean, not liquor, wrong. We were allowed to bring in our own soda and hot dogs if we wanted to, which we did. And we pretended to have a list of like the Norwegian Boy Scout reunion party kind of thing. And I think we smuggled in like 20 liters of booze, and we had ice and punch in there, and we mixed drinks in there. And of course, they never caught us for it. And but boy, did we get wasted. Even lost some people on our way back. They got too drunk. So, and then we created a whole party around going to the baseball game. We even got the San Francisco Giants to put up on the big monitor. The San Francisco Giants welcomes the Norwegian Boy Scout reunion party. That's what we said who we were. So that's just one idea. Then another time, you may have seen some of the videos, came up with the idea to take buses, when we're talking about buses now, to go see concerts. We saw Carlos Santana, we saw Jimmy Buffett, and of course my favorite, the Gypsy Kings. I did the Gypsy King concert 13 years in a row. Long stories about that. Look at the other videos. Not going to get into that. But I ended up having 8 buses one time with 400 people. And you can imagine we had 400 people in the conga line. We were sponsored by Jose Cuervo tequila company. And we took all the bandanas and tied them together. And we had a 400 people conga line through the whole concert. We took completely over. Even the Gypsy Kings noticed that, meaning more than that, they actually came with us to the party afterwards because we had then set up a pre-party. with tapas and everyone dressed in elegant clothes, and the women in beautiful dresses, and the gentlemen in black pants, white shirt, and a waistcoat. And I mean, it was phenomenal. So that's just some of the parties. And what other ideas? There, of course, are holidays, like around Thanksgiving. We did one for Christmas, for New Year's, of course, Halloween, my favorite by far, and the 17th of May, which is the Norwegian Constitution Day, for since I'm Scandinavian. So you find 4th of July could be another one. President's Day could be another one. I mean, you can come up with all kinds of theme parties around 4th of July weekend and blah, blah, blah. We did rafting trips even. So think about things that you enjoy doing and your friends enjoy doing, and you spread it through them. And you may say, "Oh, that's not enough people." I was like, I beg to differ. That's when you kick in some of my really cool promotional ideas. 20 by 20 equals 400. Plenty of videos on that about that as well. I'm not going to get into that here. Look around, you'll find it. Look for 20 by 20 in the thumbnail, and those are the kind of things that are a lot of fun. Halloween's like, my God, I had so much fun. And one of the things that I also did is that when I did bigger parties, meaning if I went to a venue, sometimes I would take over the Hilton Hotel or the Fairmont Hotel or the St. Regis in San Francisco, or an event space like the Regency Center. The Regency Center had a huge thing downstairs with a upstairs second level. So you imagine an old movie theater where you have the screen and the stage there, and an oval space and lots of room underneath on the wooden floor, and a second floor balcony area. And we had this building actually had a big downstairs, then the middle floor, and a little room, side room to the side, and then more rooms on the top floor. So at the top floor, I put an 11-piece Latin band. And in the big room, I did European dance music. And then another side room, I did 70s and 80s music, because I knew that's the kind of crowd I had. And then I had another one with Brazilian music and one with Persian music. So now the trick here is that it's hard for me to do a party like that alone, to tap into these different, like the Latin crowd, the European crowd. That was more my crowd, right? And then you have the Persian crowd, you have the Brazilian crowd, and then of course you have the 70s and 80s music. So you would find co-hosts for that, find people that could go in. So for instance, a group called Salsa Crazy, huge, beautiful Latin crowd. I would make him the co-host of the Latin room, and they would make money on the tickets they sold for that one. But we did all the organization and the paying and the management of the whole setup and everything. So they just had to promote and come and be part of a really big event, meaning these co-hosts. So the Brazilian co-host, Persian co-host, Mexican or Latin co-host, even European co-host, and we all pull together. So that's how you can elevate yourself to a whole different level. And I could do that for Halloween. I could do it for the 4th of July. I could do it for many different parties. Then I try different things. Like if you make it too difficult for people to come to the party or attend, then it's not so good. So in regards to Halloween, people naturally dress up, and they love to dress up, especially in San Francisco. And I love dressing up, to be a different person, a different character, or what have you, and play out your character, right? Sometimes I was an Indian, like from India, from Mumbai or something. Anyway, so I would stay in accent all day long, I colored my skin and I had a mustache. I mean, crazy stuff. And one time I was a Viking, I was a Chinese, I was a black man, you name it. A bellboy, a doorman. I was like so much fun. And but not everyone likes to, they don't like to go to events that makes it hard. So like say when we did a toga party, that's when people put on a white sheet. That was a little bit of a stretch, I think, for some people. They didn't want to get into that. But we did something else. We did summer solstice, the lightest day of the year. And you can flip that to the darkest day of the year, which is the 21st of December, I believe. The 20th or 21st of June is the lightest day of the year. So we did something called White Nights. So everybody dressed in white clothes, so white pants, white shirt. A fantastic look for all the people there. And then you can do a lot with lights and everything, and DJs. And we did that on the waterfront usually. We had laser show and all kinds of crazy stuff. So coming up with event ideas, I don't think it's hard. It's up to you to be creative, tap into your crowd, find out what they like to do, and put your energy and excitement into it. And this is so key, guys, when you're going to be a promoter and be successful. And it's one of the things that I really felt that I had some strong suit in, because I could talk to one or two people. I can get them fired up and get the vision. They would turn around and bring 10, 20 people each. You got to have the ability to take your energy and your passion and your vision and your idea for this party to the next person and have them repeat it, meaning replicate it to their friends. And that's where the 20 by 20 comes in, equals 400, that I'm not going to get into here. But then you create like a boiler room where you call a bunch of people. So, and once, like I remember one of these parties that I did on the ocean, I even built a shower with like fluorescent pipes, and it was partially see-through, and I painted a logo of one of our main sponsors on the covers, and I had a shower inside, and we had lights, and we had a girl kind of undress. It was wild. And while she took a shower there, and while we saw what was happening inside, but not enough, right? So it's like a teaser. It was perfect. And she would get into and squeeze herself up against the curtain and everything. But sorry, I don't mean to, it wasn't like a sex party or anything like that. But it was like, it's something fun to have. And we would feature that in our advertisement. And of course, sponsors liked it too, and everything. So, and that was on the ocean, place called Kelly's Mission Rock. Think about I know some other friends in San Francisco, promoter friends of mine. They did something called Second Sunday. So every second Sunday of the month, they did a day party at Kelly's Mission Rock. They could actually move it around because they had the list. This is a really key thing. Once you have a list, you can move it to wherever you want to go. And that's what I always advocate. If I'm going to be coaching you or helping you with anything like that, or if you have questions about it, I would strongly suggest build your list, control your list. That is your goal, your gold, and you can take your club wherever you want to go. One time I did a beach party down in Half Moon Bay, and I rented a private beach, had 750 people there, 3 DJs, 4 chefs, salmon, oysters, wet t-shirt contest. Sponsors. Fantastic. And we were lucky with the weather too, because that's a hit and miss in San Francisco sometimes. But if you're in Miami or what have you, you kind of know what the weather is going to be like. So this is really something I'm excited about, coming up with events. I feel I was one of my strong suits to come up with events, nail them down and produce them and make it happen. And boy, did I have a lot of fun. And the Gypsy Kings concert, just a bus ride over to the Gypsy Kings from the pre-party over and then back again. The bus ride in itself, people would pay $100 for that. Seriously. But I, of course, had bought maracas and tambourines. I had food and drinks at the pre-party, drinks on the bus, the light sticks and stuff like that, and hats and everything for us to be inside the concert. We had backstage tickets or access to the Gypsy Kings. It was insane. Those kind of things are just like, it went on in history, and people made friends, lifelong friends. This is done back in the early 90s. I did that, maybe late 80s. I forget exactly. And I did it 13 years in a row. They were the world's most popular band at that time. And seeing them at the Greek Theater at the University of Berkeley, it was just unbelievable. And the way I did it in the beginning was so rudimentary. I was going to have one bus. I just asked some people, would you like to go to the Gypsy King concert? If I got the ticket, set up a pre-party, got the Mexican bus, and we go and see the concert together. 50 people said yes, boom, right away. So I drove over to Berkeley, and I could only buy 5 tickets at a time or something. It's both general admission. So I bought 5. Then they started recognizing me. So I had to ask other people, here's the $200, buy 5 tickets for me, till I got 50. And I did that, I think, the first 2 years or something like that. And then I got smarter. I started talking to the organizers, and I got to deal with them. And then I eventually managed to get to know the manager of the Gypsy King. So, things start taking off big time. So you start getting contacts and stuff like that. So those things are fun, man. I'm telling you. And you make friends, and you make things happen for people. And that was one of the most important things for me, I tell you, I almost get a little emotional when I talk about that. A friend of mine's father, he came with us one time, great guy. He was in charge of all the rafting trips, Paul Ramke. And he pulled me aside. We were at the Greek theater. That's when I had 400 people with me, 8 buses. Okay, and of course I had a leader for each bus and drinks and music and everything planned, right? So he goes to me and says, Alf, why do you do this? Why do you do this? And I looked at him and I said, because of that. Then we're standing there looking at 400 people, or maybe 399 without me, at the middle of the Greek theater, standing there dancing and conga line and kissing each other or what have you, and having a blast. I said, because of that. And I get tears in my eyes when I think about that, because it was really, that really moves me when I can create something like that and help people have fun, help people meet other people, become friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, married, all kinds of things happen. And that's really why I did it. And I was fortunate enough to make great money from it, but it was never about the money for me. It was always about the joy of doing that. And that's still, I still have that in me. And my goal is to help as many people I can become party promoters, because if you could find your passion to become a party promoter and do what I did, that would make me so happy. And you can make a very nice income. And the thing is that what I didn't have in the beginning was a mentor. I didn't have somebody who could take me, boom, boom, boom. I could be that person for you. I can help you with that. And I have a whole setup for you. If you want some information from me, for instance, how I did the Gypsy Kings, let me know in the comments below. Or if you want to talk with me in person and see if this is for you, it's a free 15-minute call. You can ask me any question. I'm not going to try to sell you anything that you don't want or that you're not right for. So if you're interested in talking to me, asking me more questions, how do I do this? Or do I have it? Or what can I do? I'm in a small town, or I'm out here, blah, 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 blah. How do you do it? How do you do in today, in 2025, 27, 28, 29, 2030? How do you do parties? The basic concepts are there still. There are some really key things that you need to do right, because my parties and events could have gone really bad if I wasn't very particular about how I did certain things and how I built my crowd and all of that. I even invented a rip card, which I filed for a patent. It says Alf and Alf here. It may be reverse on the recording, and it's a perforated card. I have a whole video on that too, but this system here helped me build my list, and carefully so. And you heard me talk about this too. It doesn't sound like, maybe it sounds like I'm bragging. Got to know founder of PayPal, founder of Hotmail. They would come to my parties. So of course, they would be on my VIP list, tapped into all kinds of contacts, became a connector in many ways too. Looking for a job, looking for a girlfriend, struggling with this. Here, let me connect you with this person. You become a connector. And that's part of the skills and the values that I bring to the table, because being a party planner, or party promoter, as they say, but I'm actually more of a nightclub party organizer, event planner, because there's so many things to it: contracts, insurance, promotion, organization, security guards, checking crew, I mean, decorations, you name it, sponsors, all kinds of things. You can make money from many different angles, and you can help a lot of businesses around you too. I must have created millions and millions of dollars for businesses in San Francisco in the years that I did it, for 22 years. Okay, so anyway, click below. As you can tell, I can sit there and talk about this for ages, and I love it that I got to be here with you. I'm here to help you. Comment below, click on the link, do what's necessary, get into the game. If you want to get off on the right start, I'm your man, and I'll see you on the other side. Here you're going to get my virtual high five.